Secrecy has historically been a tool of both preservation and control, but as humanity evolves, so too must the methods by which wisdom is protected and shared. The question is no longer merely about the role of secrecy in esoteric orders, but whether secrecy itself remains a necessary mechanism in the modern era. If knowledge is to serve as a catalyst for human evolution, then its guardians must recognize when concealment is a safeguard and when it becomes an obstacle. In past centuries, wisdom had to be guarded against persecution. Systems of power, both religious and political, sought to suppress teachings that challenged their authority. Esoteric knowledge was driven underground, hidden in symbols, allegories, and veiled traditions. However, as the world has shifted, new challenges have emerged. Today, the suppression of truth is not always imposed by external forces, but often by the collective conditioning of society itself. The greatest obstacles to understanding are not inquisitions or censors, but distraction, disinterest, and the overwhelming noise of mass information. This raises a critical question. If secrecy was once a necessary veil against oppression, is it still the most effective means of ensuring wisdom reaches those who are ready for it? The challenge of our time may not be the protection of truth from those who could misuse it, but the struggle to cut through the illusions that make truth unrecognizable. A truly benevolent order must adapt to these changing conditions. In an age where knowledge is abundant, yet understanding is scarce, secrecy may no longer serve as the primary filter. Instead, discernment must arise from within the seeker. Those who are ready must learn to navigate a world overflowing with information, distinguishing what is essential from what is trivial. The responsibility once held by secret societies must now shift to the individual. The true initiate is not one who gains access to hidden texts, but one who learns to perceive truth amid deception. False orders have also adapted. Rather than obscuring knowledge through secrecy, they now obscure it through distortion and excess. The illusion of enlightenment is more accessible than ever. Countless organizations, influencers, and ideologies offer a path to higher understanding. Yet many of these paths are mere labyrinths that keep seekers wandering in circles. Instead of withholding wisdom, these groups flood the world with diluted or corrupted teachings, ensuring that true knowledge is buried beneath a sea of half-truths, ego-driven philosophies, and spiritual materialism. A false order does not necessarily operate in darkness. It may exist in plain sight, claiming to offer liberation while binding its followers to illusion. Its secrecy is not in what it hides, but in what it misdirects, encouraging seekers to focus on symbols rather than substance, hierarchy rather than inner mastery, and belonging rather than truth. The greatest deception is not in withholding knowledge, but in making individuals believe they have found it when they have only embraced another layer of illusion. In contrast, the truly benevolent order of the future, if such an order is to exist, must function differently than those of the past. Rather than guarding knowledge in hidden chambers, it must act as a force that awakens discernment in the individual. Its secrecy is not in keeping knowledge away, but in ensuring that only those who are prepared can recognize it. True wisdom will never be lost, nor can it be monopolized. It exists beyond texts, symbols, and traditions, accessible only to those willing to see beyond themselves. The final paradox is this. Those who seek power through secrecy inevitably reveal themselves in their desire to control, while those who seek truth remain unseen, not because they hide, but because they exist beyond the reach of those still lost in illusion. The future of esoteric wisdom may not lie in secrecy or revelation, but in the silent recognition that truth belongs to none and is available to all who are truly ready to perceive it.